Hello. Oh, I already got 2 thumbs up. Let's see. Oh, Shadow Bailey. I might not be here. I'm so sorry. I'm playing a game. 10 minutes. I don't get to play with that much. I'll rerun for you later. Oh, thank you, Vicky. That's Shadow Bailey. Hi, everyone. It's Yuna. And sorry, I'm showing you my big old forehead. Um, I'll admit I got the gray showing, so I'm covering stuff up right now until I can get taken care of. But hi, thank you for joining me, whether it's on a replay or if it's live. Right now, I don't see anyone else yet, but it's okay. There's a few friends that are doing live streams, like Miss National Parks Princess. I love you, DL. She's been working hard to get her hours going. And if you don't know her, check her out. National Parks Princess is the name of her channel. She goes around and hikes. She's amazing. You'll love her. Hi, Aries. Hi. How are you, Chris? Thank you for joining me. So today, I'm just going to start. Since you're here, right? Have a good day, Shadow Bailey. Since you're here, I'm just going to start this movie that we're about to watch today. Yes, she is. She is awesome. She's amazing. I love her. I got to meet her in person. I love her dearly. She's a sweetheart. If you ever get the chance to meet her. Well, the movie's long. Aries, I hope if you have a secondary device, I pinned the link for the movie. The only thing is that it'll lead you away from me here. So if you have a secondary device, if you want to, you don't have to. But this movie is very impactful. This movie is the story. I have the book. I've had the book for years. This book was printed in 1971. Hi, Miss Nature. Thank you for being here. I hope you have a secondary device so that you can click on the link and sushi. Oh, sushi. So, anyways, it's the story of Corrie Ten Boom and her family. Now, Corrie Ten Boom was a Christian. They were a Christian family, and they hid Jewish people in their home during the Nazi regime when they came to Amsterdam. It's an amazing. I have her book. Actually, I have a couple of books, and this book is 3 books in one. She is. Look at her. Isn't she? She's an inspiration, honestly. If you've never watched the movie, be prepared to be impacted, for real. I want to do things a little differently starting from here on out. The Lord's been dealing with me lately. So I wanted to start the new year with this movie. This past week was the 80th anniversary. Surfer. Was the 80th anniversary of the liberation of the concentration camps this past week. And I don't know if you guys have heard of The Hiding Place or even Anne Frank's diary, or if you have a chance, just look up concentration camps, Holocaust online if you don't get to watch this video. This movie is over 2.5 hours long, so if you guys can't stay the whole time, I will understand. But more than supporting me, if you would watch the movie, yeah. This movie is about, you'll go now so you can say, I just got here later. Surfer. That's my line. But So this movie deals with handling separation, getting along with less, security in the midst of insecurity, forgiveness, how God can use our weakness, facing death, dealing with difficult people, how to love your enemies, and what to do when it seems like evil is winning. And you can't, there's a link right there. Otherwise, look up The Hiding Place. Um, Here, so you can read The Hiding Place. Just look that movie up, full movie, and it should be on the Billy Graham channel. And it's for free here on YouTube. It's free. Okay. Um, yeah, it's totally free. Um, so Corrie ten Boom and her family were Christians, and they took in Jewish people. They hid people in their home. And if you look at my community page where I announced that I was going to do this today, there's like there's the picture I created with the pictures in it, but then I added the pictures also. There's 3 pictures. The one picture is of Corrie ten Boom herself. So here's another picture of her. And she's standing next to a hole in a wall, and it's showing a closet. Just so you know, that's the hiding place she and her family made to hide Jewish people for when the Gestapo would, because they would do raids on people, right? You're so silly, surfer. But as you watch this movie, you'll understand more. So, without any further ado, do you guys have the link? Is it working for you guys? Again, or look up The Hiding Place. And again, I can show you how it's, The Hiding Place. Rudini, hi! Thanks for stopping by. I'm sorry I didn't greet you. I saw you greeted me, but I was getting ready to go. So that's the name of the movie. Here, right here, I'm gonna find it, so you guys can see what it looks like. Oh, not the right one. See, when you find it on here on YouTube, that's what it's gonna look like. Okay, if the link isn't working, look for that, and it's the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association. Oh, that channel, okay, and that's where the movie is. And this movie is 2 hours and 26 minutes long. So if you cannot stay, I completely understand. I thank you for stopping by. I hope that, when you do have time, if you will watch the movie in honor of the 80th anniversary of the liberation of the concentration camps, I really want to introduce people, to this movie. It's it's very impactful. I'm going to give you kind of a spoiler because, So hi Lucy. She and her family took in Jewish people, and they eventually got caught, and they were sent to concentration camps themselves. The concentration camps were not just for Jewish people, though. They were also for gypsies, Catholics, individuals with disabilities, anyone that did not fit the Aryan gays, homosexuals. I mean, They were, yeah. Aw, he sniffed you out. So, she and her family got caught and taken to the concentration camp. So, a big part of this movie is also their experience in the concentration camp. When this movie was made in the 70s, Corey was still alive and still talking. She watched them make this movie, and she was very pleased with it. It was really cool. I had the movie. I have to get it again. It's great to see it online, and it's free online. But I used to have the movie. I was impacted, and I'll share with you one part that was super impactful for me was when she and her sister were in the concentration camp because everybody got separated, right? And her sister Betsy, because this is about Corey wrote the book. Betsy was her sister, or older sister, and they were in the concentration camp, and there were lice in the concentrate in their bunks in their barracks that they were staying in, which was overcrowded, and there was lice. And her sister goes, she was praying, and her sister, in the middle of her prayer, she goes, "And thank you, Lord, for the lice." And Betsy, being Betsy, she's Corey being Corey, she's honest. She wrote, why, she asked Betsy, "Why are you thanking God for the lice?" Well, come to find out, the lice was the only thing keeping them safe from the guards coming in and SAing them. Because they didn't want to get lice on them. They didn't want to get lice. Didn't want to get infested. So, yeah. So I've started the movie. I have it on low. I have it on low. But so this is Haarlem's in Holland, spring of 1940. Her father was a watchmaker. I have her story engraved in my heart, you guys. It made such an impact. I don't know if any of you are close to my age. Um, but when I was a little girl, it was the 80s, so it was only 40 years after the fact, which 40 years seems like a long time. But now that I'm 52, 40 years isn't nothing, right? I realize, well, that's nothing. And in the 80s, the 70s, 80s, my family was friends, my Mexican side of the family was friends with this gentleman, Mr. Rosado, and Señor Rosado, that's what we called him, and Doña Anita, Miss Anita, that was his wife, and El Señor Rosado, and Don Rosado, he, uh, he was missing fingers. And I was a kid. I was a little kid, and I wish I would have paid more attention. He had lost his two fingers during World War II. He was a sailor. He served in the South Pacific. And I remember him talking with my nana and tata, my grandma and grandpa, and talking with my mom and my stepdad. And I didn't pay too much attention. I was always too enthralled with his wife's collection of pretty little things, and just I wasn't paying attention to his words. I was just listening to him talk, and they loved on us and everything. They were just such kind people. And I remember the saying, never again, never again. Don't let us forget, never again, you know? Um, so yeah, so I hope you guys can access this movie. I'm watching it now. Right now, the Gestapo is walking into Papa Ten Boom's store, which Papa Ten Boom was a watchmaker. And this is where we meet Corey. Corey's standing there, and they're asking, "Do They're walking around looking at all the clocks. They're getting to know Papa Ten Boom, and they're asking, "Do you have radios?" You know, and Corey's gonna do something naughty. She's gonna lie and say no. They took his radio, Papa Ten Boom's radio, which was a larger, it played records, a record player, and it had a long speaker, those old fashioned speakers. But yeah, so but if you guys ever have the chance, if you like reading Corey Ten Boom's books, were awesome. I have this one. This one has Tramp for the Lord, and tramp doesn't mean what people think it means today. Tramp is kind of like the little tramp. Charlie Chaplin was called the little tramp. So he was a hobo, and Corrie Ten Boom, in the last years of her life, she traveled the world. She lived out of her suitcase, and she went around sharing the message of hope, the message about Jesus, the message about forgiveness, the message about, and it was by sharing what she experienced during World War II, about the things they did and about their experience in the concentration camps. Yeah, the littlest hobo. Yes, yes, definitely. Um, so I don't know if you guys are going to watch this with me. I've started it. There are commercials. So I don't know. This live stream will probably go on for 2.5, 3 hours just to prepare you guys. So if you want to leave, it's okay. I just thank you for stopping by even for a minute. And if you're like me, you can just skip the commercials because that's what I do. So if you see me going like this, it's because I can see far away better without glasses, but to read to see what you guys are saying, I have to look down through my glasses. So, yes, The Hiding Place. It's a really good Rudini. If you come back here to this, or again, look for, yeah, The Hiding Place. And it's under the Billy Graham evangelistic something or other. And it's free. You can watch it here on YouTube. There'll be commercials, but it's a very good movie. It really is. Thank you for stopping by. Have a blessed day. And thank you, Lucy, for stopping by. The link is right here, and it's also when you're clicking on here. And if you want later, I can add the link in my community page where you'll see I'm announcing this live stream. I'll go back and I will add the link to the hiding place there, okay? So that way you can easily access it. Yes, the books, it's easy. It's easy reading. I have one of the original copies, softback. It's got photos in it from the movie. Um, yeah. I'm not leaving yet. You just got here. Hi, Waffles. No, Rudini's getting ready to go, so I'm sharing. Okay, so right now this scene is Papa Ten Boom got in line because what happened way back then during World War II is the Jewish people were made to wear a Star of David so that they could be identified all over Europe. Okay, wherever Hitler took over, he invaded a lot of places. They made the Jewish people wear Star of Davids that said Jude, which is Jew in German, okay? And so Papa Ten Boom is in line waiting to get his star. He wasn't Jewish, but what he said was, well, if we all wear one, they won't be able to tell the difference. Corey herself, which I always loved about her. So this act, not that's one of the Germans in the movie, but this actress, and she kind of looks like Corey. She Corey worked with individuals with special needs, with disabilities, and so right there, if you see there, actually some of the actors they use do have Down syndrome too. So they employed for the movie individuals with disabilities. But in this scene that they're talking right now, they're showing the Germans going in and destroying property from a Jewish owned business. So behind him, like when they turn it around, I don't know if they'll show it again. See, do you see on the ground there's broken stuff? Um, they're I think that's like a ceramic shop or a pottery shop, and they're going in there and throwing stuff on the ground because that's what they did. I don't know if you guys know even our history here in the U.S. Unfortunately, what happened to our our Japanese Americans is while Japanese American men were going off to fight in the war for us, since Japan had bombed Pearl Harbor, here in the United States, anyone who was of Japanese descent, their businesses, homes were taken away, and they were sent to camps. When I lived in Tucson on Mount Lemon, there was this campsite. It's called the Gordon Hirabayashi campsite, and it was an honor site. And oh, thank you. Thank you. God bless you, gingerbread girl. Thank you for stopping by. Love you. Oh my gosh. Sorry I didn't see you. I've been so busy running my big mouth. Um, but at the Gordon Hirabayashi campsite is the leftovers and only the foundations, not the buildings anymore, of that honor camp. And Japanese Americans were housed there and made to build this highway that goes up this mountain. And yeah, so I mean, hopefully it wasn't as bad as the concentration camps that Germany built. But we had our own type of camps too, unfortunately. It's very sad. The concentration camps were no joke. They weren't. Um, I I don't know, my heart is to share, so you can see and be aware. The best way to avoid repeating history is to learn history. You know, it's just to learn history. Right now, so a neighbor walked into Corey's house and asked her, "Can you take in this mother and this baby? Or can you take in this baby?" In real life, I think it was the mother and the child. And that's how they got started in the. I know Miss Stoneheart's here. Thank you, Miss Stone. Miss Nature. I always want to call you Miss Nature. But that's how they began. And it was called the Dutch Underground. Dutch, Dutch Underground. So if you want to look that up, during World War II. But it's just to me, even more now than ever, it's hitting me. And Senor Rosado in the 80s, he was already in his 80s. So he was an older gentleman and he served through the war. So he was already in his 40s when he served through the war and he lost a few fingers. I remember him talking about it, but I didn't pay attention, and I will so wish I could have heard his stories. So I just honor him right now and the millions who did, Yeah. So right now is the scene where the pastor came to see Corey and her family, and he's talking to Papa Ten Boom, who is wearing the Jewish star, the Star of David. See it? The Star of David right there on his chest. And he really did this in real life, telling him, you know, to take it off, to not wear it. And Papa Ten Boom gave his answer, basically, I'm not going to remove it. He's doing it as unto the Lord because our Savior, Jesus, was also Jewish, and if we keep quiet, actually, I saved some stuff. I don't know, that I want to read to you guys. Let me see. Can I find it? So there was this gentleman named Niemöller. There it is, his last name, Niemöller, and he wrote this poem. Sorry, guys, I'm shaky. He wrote this poem in the 50s. First, they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. You know, that's just something we should bear in mind. And I want to show you guys. This is let me see. That's Mr. Rosado, and that's his wife Anita. So I just want to honor their memory. He fought during World War II. He was Puerto Rican, and he was a Christian. Oh, such a funny gentleman. He told wonderful stories. I just remember the adults sitting around laughing. Whenever we got together, we would go to their house, and they lived in independent living for elderly people, They had the cutest apartment, and they were always so sweet. And I loved their accent because it wasn't your, the Mexican accent. They're Puerto Rican, so the R's, the R, they couldn't do that. Their R, it was actually a L, Puerto Rico. It sounded like an L. They were so cute too, and they were so funny. They're wonderful people. R. Put your tongue behind your teeth. R. 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 Brr. But for them it was la. So instead of saying Puerto Rico or Puerto, I can't even say it in English. You can do that too. Can you do this? Flip your tongue both ways. I can't gleek though. You know when you lift your tongue and you gleek? I can't do that. Hey, Berry. Error. I can say error. Puerto Rico. I have to say it Puerto Rico. Puerto. I don't know how to say it. I've been speaking English most of my life and I can't say it the way you guys say it. I have to say Puerto Rico. It's kind of like when I learned how to read and write. I couldn't say coyote in English. I would always say coyote. It took me a long time to coyote, coyote, coyote. I actually learned Spanish before I learned English because my mother tongue literally is Spanish. Okay, so now they have a Jewish professor that they're hiding at their house. They're at this time they're not quite a part officially of the Jewish underground, but they're starting to get people there. Barry, you know this book and movie, right? It's so impactful. The only thing is I have to say, I was thinking about it, and I thought this years ago. Um, there's books been written about Corey and her family, which is amazing. But the thing is, Corey always gave honor to God. What was it? Years ago, I watched when she was honored, and and it taught me a lesson too about humility. Not to have false humility. You know, when people compliment you and people go, oh, no. It actually taught me learn to take a compliment, say thank you. And when compliments are given to you, you think of them as a flower or pretty roses that are handed to you. You say thank you and you take it. Thank you. Thank you. And mean it. Say thank you. I may not fully believe it, but I thank you. Thank you for the love. And then at the end of the day, what you do is you take those flowers and then you put them at the feet of Jesus, you know, because you give God all the glory for everything. Woo! There you go. Worry does not empty tomorrow of its sorrow, it empties today of its strength. Yes, that was one of hers. You know that the poem about my life is but you know, a patchwork, you know, a sewing. It's a creation, and God sees the upper while we're on the underside. Do you know that one, Barry? I can't quite remember all the words. I'm sorry, but basically, um, oh, my life is but a weaving between my God and me. Look up, my life is but a weaving, or something like that. And it's talking about we're under on the underneath part and we're looking up and we see our life and it seems a mess and it seems to be all jagged and crisscrossy and makes no sense. It's strings hanging everywhere. It doesn't seem to be complete. We don't quite see the pattern. We might see an outline here and there, but it just doesn't quite make sense to us. And not until the loom is silent. Ooh, that one's a good one too, Barry. Is prayer your steering wheel or your spare tire? Come on. Come on now. But not until the loom is silent and we get to be above till we go home to glory will we'll be able to see what God was doing. So, yeah. But anyways, I'm what I was trying to get to was that Corey Ten Boom was a human like you and I. And in bits and parts of this movie, and as you read through the book, you'll see that she was very real. She didn't act like she was a hero. She didn't think heroically of herself. There was times she got an attitude with some of the Jewish people that were staying there. Especially that one in particular, which was that professor. There is no pit so deep that God's love is not deeper still. Yes, I know. Isn't that beautiful? I know. Aren't they wonderful? Corey, but she was a human like you and I. And the thing is even in reading these books, I saw the great love that the young lady who wrote the story. There was a young lady who wrote about her experience working with Corey. And it just, the Lord put it on my heart. Just be careful not to idolize her. You can praise her and be like, she did a good work unto the Lord. Her father did a good work unto the Lord. Her sister, her brother, her nephews, her siblings, they did a good work unto the Lord, you know. But just be careful not to idolize them. Because, it, I don't know, I fell in love with Corey and her family in this book. Oh, so, yeah. So Corey Ten Boom's father had a watch shop, like I was telling you guys. Um, and by 1937, the watch shop it was 100 years old. They were watchmakers for over 100 years. And the Baccalaureate where Corey lived still exists to this day, and you can go tour it in Amsterdam. Um, I can't pronounce it correctly, but you can go do tours and you can look online or you can look on YouTube, and there's people that have toured Corey Ten Boom's hiding place because this was a real place. Again, um, in my community post that I made about today, I posted a picture of Corey standing next to a hole in a wall. That was the false wall that was made in her bedroom because her bedroom was at the very top of their house. And so there was a false wall made with a room behind it. And they had to go in through the closet to get into the little room. And nobody could tell that it was a false wall. So after the war, after everything, they ended up poking a hole through that wall. So now people can go tour and you can see the actual hiding place where they hid Jewish people. Just in case anyone's going to leave, uh, people did hide there. And actually, while while Corey, Betsy, and their family got caught, the Jewish people they were hiding in their home weren't, because they were in the hiding place. You're still his scripture palindrome series. Surfer, do you have a Bible? That's what I meant to ask you. You okay, is it a study Bible or is it a regular Bible? Okay. Okay. So it's not a study Bible? Surfer's giving away $4,000 tomorrow. Stay tuned. Surfer's a scalper. No, I'm just kidding. No, you're not a scalper. It's called business. You're actually doing what people do. That's called business. Okay, it's not, that's not scalping. Um, oh, I understand, Stone. I understand. You prefer listening? Hey, hearing, faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God, right? So it's okay. I just, so many available on YouTube. Yes, there are. Do you know that, oh my gosh, his name just, who did the voice of Darth Vader? He just died last year. Oh my gosh, I can see his face. James Earl Jones. Okay, James Earl Jones. Okay, there's actually, he's reading the Bible. They recorded him. It's his voice and the words on the screen. Yes, yes. So he read the Bible. So if you like his voice, you like listening to his voice, that's available online. There's so many. There's in Spanish. There's so many. Yeah. Okay, so here they are now that they're officially a part of the underground. This gentleman came. He's like, "We're going to build it here." Yep. And so the closet right there became part, the real closet became part. I do. I do like Star Wars. It's just I forget stuff. I believe me or not, I had a stroke in 2018. So sometimes my memory for words, certain things, just it really sucks because I'm really not that dumb. I'm not super duper smart to begin with, but I had a stroke, so it affects my memory sometimes. It takes me a while. I would have remembered it, but I was like, I'll just ask you guys. It's okay. No, I'm just explaining though because I don't want everyone you want I don't want you ever to think, that maybe something you guys might have said isn't important to me. It's just my memory gets affected. I like Star Wars too. It's just I couldn't remember his name, because I wasn't thinking about bringing him up. But since Stone says she likes to listen to the Bible, um, and if you really are a Star Wars geek, then you might enjoy listening to him read the Bible. It's awesome. Anakin Surfer has spoken. Then boom. So, right here in this part is when they were sneaking paint or bricks into their house. Um, because they're going to be building up the hiding place in her room. Are you guys watching this along with me? I really love this movie, you guys. I love this movie. It gets so intense. Madden, hi, welcome. Eggs for scalping. Surfer, it's not scalping. True life. Well, see, this movie is based on true life. It's her. It's it's based on truth. This really happened. $5 million per egg. Yolks on you, surfer. How are you doing, Madden? Thank you for stopping by. Welcome. Yes, this movie is based on things that happened in real life. When this movie was made, Corey Ten Boom was still alive. She was there while they made it. So she approved of how they made this, the things the people said. Um, even when they took a little bit of creative liberty with it, she approved of it. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm noticing I got a zit. This is wrong. Okay, right now, going off topic. It's just wrong. I'm 52. When are these things going to end? I'm 52. I'm a freaking senior citizen and I got a zit. Mount Krakatoa right there. Do you see it? Look. Not cool. Surfer, come up with something to get rid of zits and I'll get it. I don't care if you scalp it. Crazy. Yes. I know. I know that. I know. I know. What was it? I heard that some places it's up to $8 for a dozen. Maybe that's what it is, Barry. It thinks it's 25. I wish the rest of me thought that. My body, my hair. Do you guys want to see my silver hair? Look at this. What do you guys think? Should I go gray fully? Should I, if I can ever afford it, go and get my hair done and make it all gray? I was thinking of just dyeing it dark again. I can't stand it when it's in this halfway point like that. I could just chop it off and let it grow out more. What do you think? I got a lot of gray hairs. I'm not quite a cotton ball head. A lot of people in my family turned it in cotton ball heads at a young age, but I definitely have grays. Look at this. This is ridiculous. My body feels 80, but in my mind, well, I think I'm in my 30s. I don't, gray is the new blonde. Oh, geez, I took this off. Now I got to put it back on. Oh, they're doing a practice run for in case they get in, in case the Gestapo comes. They're practicing and having the Jewish people run up to the hiding place. They're timing it. Hold on a second, guys. I'm still here. Sorry. It's just, I got to put this headband back on. It took 1 minute and 15 seconds. So they did the practice run for the Jewish people. Sorry, guys. To run up to the hiding place, and it took 15 seconds, and which was too long. They tried to do practice runs so that if and when the actual Gestapo came, the people they were hiding would be able to run up there and get in there. Hey Barry, do you know any more sayings by Corey that you could share? Okay. Okay, so this is when that professor comes in. This is the professor. And Corey, and her family, they took in whoever they could, right? And hid whoever they could. He came in and he was asking, "Are you kosher?" Demanding to be kosher. And he would not join in on doing things on Saturdays because it was his Sabbath. And then Sundays he wouldn't do anything because for the Tamboom family, they were Christians and it was their Sabbath. So he didn't do anything then. So Corey she admitted she got so frustrated with this gentleman. So that's, that's one thing I do like is Corey was very honest about her experiences while she was in the concentration camp, because she and her family did get caught and taken to the concentration camp, because even though the Gestapo obviously couldn't prove it, they knew, they'd been watching them, and they knew that they were part of the Dutch underground. Hi, W Vox. How you doing, Will? Thank you for stopping by. So the family got taken to the concentration camp. Barry, happy birthday, Will. Barry, you're aging, Will. Ah, the ah, the Fountain of Youth. You know what? I went to the Fountain of Youth in Florida myself. It's in St. Augustine, Florida. If you look at my videos about St. Augustine, you'll see I even took a drink of the water. The water was gross. I actually went to the spot that was claimed to be the Fountain of Youth where Ponce de Leon went. I went there in real life. It's in St. Augustine, which was the first European settled city here in the United States while it was still part of Nueva España, you know. Yeah. You know, there's the castle there, it looks like a castle, it's not a castle. But it was fortified against people coming in via water. And what it is it's, I don't know what it's called, but when there's two plates or two, and the water comes up, it's kind of like when I went hiking out in the desert and I showed you guys, I don't know if you guys have seen that video. It was a 3-part video when I was hiking in the desert, and I ran across a place where the Apache tribe, because where I lived in Arizona, after I moved from Tucson, I moved to this place called Safford. And in Safford, Clifton, that area, I don't know, I think he ran away now. In that area is Apache area. And so the place we went hiking to, in this one spot, there was this little spring, but it was coming out of a rock. I'll have to find out which one. It's the part 1 video. It's a 3-part video of hiking in the desert. I can't remember what it's called. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I seriously, because right now my mind's on the movie and trying to pay attention to you guys, so I can't remember everything. But you'll see there's a video where there's water coming out between rock. The Apache tribe goes there and gets some of this water for when they do special things for the tribe. And in that same video, I found the grave site of one of Geronimo. You know, when everybody yells, Geronimo! He was an actual person. His name was Jeronimo. And I found the grave site of one of his children, one of his daughters. It's out there in the middle of the desert. It's really weird because what this place used to be is they were trying to build a settlement out there, Wild West. Camp Bowie. Camp Bowie. I think it's Bowie. Okay, have a good sleep. Love you. Love you, Stoneheart. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for supporting. Be blessed. So it's on the way to Camp Bowie. So you hike. It's only a mile and a half in, mile and a half out. It's a beautiful hike. On the way there, it's like in the middle of, it feels like in the middle of nowhere desert. All of a sudden, you find a cemetery, a graveyard, an old West graveyard. And Geronimo's daughter is one of the people that's buried there. So that I have that on video. And then after that, you walk a little further and you see they set it up how the Apaches had it set up back there. And then there's it's like a little spot where water comes out from rock. It's not called a spring, aquifer. Aquifer? Is that what it is? It's called an aquifer. And that's where the water for Ponce de Leon came out of too, an aquifer. And Aquafina uses that water, by the way. So if you drink Aquafina, you're actually drinking the water If it's the water that comes from Florida and it's Aquafina water, um, the, when it's untreated, is from that aquifer. Just so you guys know, by the way, Aquafina uses that water. They add stuff to it. But yeah, just in case you didn't know. See, I remember crazy stuff, but the simplest things sometimes I have like a hard time remembering. So right here, they're listening to the radio that from the Nazis. Said hi, North. Okay, so here's the part where Corey is meeting. That's her nephew. Believe it or not, he was dressed like a girl, riding a bike. That was her nephew. Because back then, if you were of a certain age and a male, um, they basically grabbed you off the street and would take you in to make you become a soldier for the Nazis. So her nephew, in order to come out in public and to meet Corey, that's her nephew, he dressed up like a female and rode a bicycle to go meet her because she had information for him. She wrote down numbers that she heard from the radio as part of the Dutch underground. Who invented what? Said hi. I'm not understanding, Barry. Hi said. Believe it or not, I know I'm running my mouth, but I am watching this movie. I I I don't have all the lines memorized, but I remember scenes. Plus, it's got the awesome old cars and all those places. I think it was really filmed in Amsterdam. You guys, I'm lost. I don't know how Surfer does it because he's doing rips and everything, and he can still pretty much follow along. Me, I'm lost. I'm like, hi, who, what, ha, huh, he. Water. Do you like Dutch Bros, you guys? Dutch Bros is awesome. You can't, you keep up pretty well, actually. I mean, right now I'm reading and I have you guys directly in front of me, and I still can't keep up. I don't know what the heck Barry's talking about. All I can focus on right now, too, is that stupid zit on my face. I'm like, I hate it. You can't read the card names. Are you guys following along? Are you able to access the movie, by the way? You said hi. Hi, Barry! Erab, Erab. Refrus. Surfer is Refrus. And Aries is Sarah. So, the King James version of the Bible is too hard for you to understand right now, Surfer. It's understandable. I didn't always do King James. I started off with something called the NIV, and there's also something called the Amplified. Some people don't like it, and I'm not saying anything in either direction, but it's what got me started. Sarah, Sarah, no time is a good time for goodbyes. I know what you're talking about. Are you guys watching the movie? Were you able to access it? Or will you watch it? Um, you know, uh, The Hiding Place. I know also movies about Anne Frank are good. If you've ever or read The Diary of Anne Frank, um, that book impacted me as a child. I uh, I read it so when I was 6 years old, 6 or 7, in first grade. Oh, YouTube has some weird emojis. Yes, it does. Well, that's me. That's me when I wake up. The second one, that's how I feel. It is. It is a horrible thing. It's such a, and it wears your body down. It injures you. It hurts your body. It causes stress. Hate isn't good. Barry, you did it! Yay, Barry! Did you look it up how to do it? Good job, Barry. Awesome. Barry did it. Barry did it. Barry spammed me. Yay, I'm getting spammed. I like spam. I like spam. What kind of a phone do you have? Do you have a Droid or an iPhone, Surfer? Because Barry has a Droid, so he can tell you if you need to know on a Droid. Oh, you do know. You stinker. You do know. I like the robot one. A Nokia block? Okay. Monchichi! Oh my gosh. You guys, I want to introduce you to Mr. Monchichi. He's one of my original folks. Mr. Monchichi and Mrs. Monchichi, I love you. Thank you for being here. Oh my gosh, you just made my day. Monchichi, he hasn't done anything lately, but he does woodworking on a lathe. He makes some really beautiful things. I don't know. Do you still do things like that, Mr. Monchichi? And Mrs. Monchichi is on my Facebook, and she's always posting funny stuff. You can play Snake on it. You're too funny. Oh my goodness. Thank you for stopping by. Mr. Monchichi, I'm over 1,000 subscribers. Can you believe it? Remember when I only had 5? I mean, Mr. Monchichi was here when I had 5 subscribers, and now I'm at 1,230. He and his wife they would each get on their phone at the same time. And I would do live streams and they would be there. Nez! Oh my gosh, Nez. Nez, look who's here, Mr. Monchichi. Do you know Monchichi? I love Mr. Monchichi. I love them. And Mrs. Monchichi, is she at work or is she there? If she's there, can you tell her I say hi and I love her too? Mr. Monchichi's good people. And of course, Nez is good people. Nez said hi. So Corey, we just saw the part where Corey had a conversation with that gentleman that she was butting heads with. Yeah, that's what I really liked about this book. It's kind of like in the Bible. You know, everybody, especially in the New Testament, they admitted how human, how fallible they were. You know, Paul the apostle, wrote, you know, the things I don't want to do, I do, and the things I want to do, I don't do. Wretched man that I am. You know, he's he talks about sinners and he goes, of whom I am chief. You know, I'm the chief sinner. You can get done in no time. The days of the creosote, creosote, yes. The days of the creosote walks. Yes, it smells so wonderful out there in the desert when it would be rainy during the monsoon season. Ah, you could smell the creosote in the air. Out here, when you go walking, you can smell clover. It's a different kind of sweet smell. But yeah, I do miss the creosote smell. You have it out there. Creosote, right? That's what you spelled, Manchichi. I haven't forgotten. Oh, it just warms my heart you're here. So down below, if you want to, at your leisure, if you want to join me and watch the movie, um, where my name is in the yellow or whatever, or white. I don't know if it's at the top for you guys. Usually it's at the top. For me, it's at the bottom. But it has a link. You'd have to have a secondary device because otherwise it'll lead you out of my live stream. But is the link to the movie. Jersey! Hi, Jersey. How are you? Jersey, we are watching The Hiding Place. Have you ever heard of Corey ten Boom? Here, let me. So we're watching the movie The Hiding Place. I have the books because and the movie is about the story of this lady and her family, Corey ten Boom. During World War II, their family was part of the Dutch underground. They took in Jewish people because the Nazis invaded Amsterdam, you know. Oh, thank you, Mr. Monchichi. So there's a link to the movie below if you guys want to watch it at your leisure or if you want to join me. If you wanted to watch it with me, though, the only thing is right now we are at the 1 hour and 3 minute point. So you would miss the first hour of it. But if you can click on the link, save it. If you're going to watch it with me, you'd have to have a second device, is the only thing. But if you click on that link, it'll take you to that movie. Yes, similar to Anne Frank, but they were part of the Dutch underground. They were a Christian family that took in Jewish people because there were many people that reached out and helped The Jewish people. Okay, so the family is getting invaded by the. No, this isn't it yet. So, yeah, the Gestapo is at the door. And so, thankfully, the Jewish people ran upstairs into Corey's room, into the hiding place that they had built. Yep, I have this book. So, this is the hiding place. This book was printed in 1971. I bought this in the mid to late 90s when I became a Christian. This is one of my first Christian books I had, besides a Bible. And then years later, I found this book about Corey ten Boom, and it's three different stories. This one has life lessons from the hiding place, in my father's house, and tramp for the Lord. Because tramp back in the day did not mean a tramp, it meant like a little hobo. Because Corey ten Boom, at the end of her life, went around the world spreading the message of the gospel and of peace and of salvation and encouragement, um, long after World War II. I know, you guys who have been reading my posts probably understand how I feel. So I'm not going to say anything about that, Jersey. Um, but now more than ever, it's important to get educated. It's very important to get educated, you guys. Study the past. That's all I can say is study. You know, the Bible says to study to show thyself approved, a workman that need not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Study. Study your Bible and study the past. No, 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 no. Leave it, leave it, leave it, leave it. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. No, 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 no. Don't remove it. Sorry, that's a very Mexican thing. I know. Yay! I'm so glad. That'll be awesome to see, Mr. Monchichi. Um, here, Jersey. Why aren't you a mod? Here you go. Jersey, I want to introduce you to Mr. Monchichi. Mr. Monchichi, this is Jersey. She shares the Bible and she shares praise and worship music. She's just a sweetheart. Sweet woman of the Lord. So, and Mr. Monchichi and Mrs. Monchichi, along with Nez, are some of the people that have been here for my channel since the beginning. Since I had like what, 5 people? I mean, seriously, they're one of my first subscribers, first supporters. I appreciate them very much. I forget a lot of stuff. I'll never forget you. So this is when Corey and her family are being taken by the Gestapo. The Jewish people are up in the hiding place, so they didn't get caught. But this is when they're taken, and they're going to be taken to the concentration camp. So Corey and her family ended up going to the concentration camps. Um, when they were taken, Corey was sick. She had, I don't know, I don't know if she had the flu. She definitely had a fever. So they're being made to climb up into the truck that was going to tow them away and take them to the trains. So, hey, Nez, I appreciate. Oh, it is nice to have a community, isn't it? It is nice. You know, when I started my channel, I was hoping someday I'd get to the point where I had 100,000 viewers. I'm like, now not so much. I'm really glad I met this community. Um, Manchichi, this community that Nez introduced me to, um, I hope you get to know them. Aries, surfers, they wonderful people, so encouraging. They're they go out looking to see who they can meet and introduce to our community. They're trying to grow the community, but they're still very, it's okay. They're very aware of the people that are around and they keep an eye out for us. Um, if there's anyone causing trouble, they remove them. They remove them from their channel and they let you know without calling out names to be careful. Um, you know, they're not about the numbers. They're about community. So if you're looking to get to know them, they're so awesome. The people I've met here, Jersey Steph, Barry, all good people. And it's because of Nez, who led me to Surfer, who led me to Aries, who led me to everyone here. So if if you're looking for a good group of people that'll stand by you, that'll support you, and that you can support and know that you're supporting people that really walk that walk, that's them. This is them. I'm grateful for them. Oh my gosh, Barry, I'm all about the subs. Currently, Firehouse subs are my favorite. You stinker. When I started here for the laughs, unfortunately, the wood turning community has zero sense of humor. That's why I don't hang out there. You know, these guys are all about your likes and dislikes. I mean, they are the card community. They are all about everything you like. You know, if you like watching movies, if you like cards, if you like playing music, you know, something you're, I mean, they have Friday night hangouts. There's all kinds. It's really cool. It's really cool. Well, I'm never gonna get to 100,000. I don't care anymore. I I don't care anymore. You know, I wanted to at one point. I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to, but you know, back then we started, you know. Aw, thank you, Jersey. Mr. Monchichi's good people. And so is Mrs. Monchichi. Mrs. Monchichi has an awesome sense of humor. Oh my gosh. She's a little firecracker. She is. Oh my goodness. You gotta be careful not mouth off to her. She'll pretend to whip you. But she also loves plants and she loves dogs. She's just one of the kindest, most encouraging people. For a long time, I stopped posting here on YouTube. And do I ever get burned out? No. No. I did for a few years, and that's why I stopped. So I started making videos and vlogs back in 2017. I started this channel in 2013 as a viewer. Then in 2017, I decided to create my own channel. And from 2017, towards the end of 2019, I was going strong and I was doing great and I was on my way, and I got so burned out. I got burnt out because there was a lot of Mr. Monchichi, and Miss Nez will attest to this. They know what I'm talking about. It got really ugly. It got ugly. There was there was a group we were all a part of, and it got ugly. Yep, the ravings of a madman. And then I came back, what was it, last year? And Nez introduced me to everyone here, and I found a community that's much more encouraging. Um, it feels like a few years ago it was the wild, wild west with that group. If they liked, yes, exactly, Mr. Monchi. Folks were not, they were doxing people. It got really bad. It got really bad. Some of those people still have channels, and they, yeah, yeah. So I won't say anything else. It's just, I don't even want to say the names of their channels. I don't want to give them any any free advertisement, but me too. Me too. I have to just work on my strength and start walking more. My arm, my back is still, I'm getting therapy now for it. That's why I'm just like laying back. Aw, thanks, Rashim. I'll take it. I think you have your rose-colored glasses on, but thank you. Thank you. Because I'm not young. I'm 52. What was it from Saturday Night Live? I'm 50 years old, and I like to stretch, kick, and stretch. Did you guys ever watch that? It was hilarious. Now that I'm 52, I'm like, man, I wish I could stretch, kick, and stretch. No, 52, 5'2", 5'2", 52. Look at this gray hair. Look. Do you see it? Do you see it? Oh, thank you. I put lipstick on for you guys today and a little bit of makeup. Well, eye makeup, not, I don't know. I don't do foundation or blush or eyeshadow. I do eyeliner, mascara, and lipstick. Monchichi, no comment. Any fun plans for Valentine's Day? No. I don't know. I guess I should. I should decorate for Valentine's Day, huh? I usually do, and I just haven't. I've honestly been in pain, you guys. Right now, this blanket is actually a heated blanket. I have to readjust it. It's heated. I'm leaning up against it. You can't tell, but when I go like this, I'm actually trying to fit my head and neck into it so that because the pain is here and back here. I have a stabbing pain, and the pain gets too much, and it feels like it goes around my neck. So I'm just, that's why I haven't done any walking videos or exercise videos yet. So I'm sitting here trying to make sure I don't get stiff and achy, because then I won't be able to do anything the rest of the day. And it's not time for my medication yet. So Corey, at this point, was taken in by the Gestapo. Her whole family was. She's been in a room in isolation, and she was just taken out, and she's going to go. They're going to get ready to send her to the concentration camps. So if you're watching, just be prepared. We're getting close to where she goes. Right? It's not the years, it's the miles. Man, I'm going to slide into heaven all messed up. Hey, that's a song. It ain't the years, it's the miles. It's a Western song, not country, because country and Western are two different musics, by the way, two different types. It's country and Western. Chris Ledoux wrote the song. It ain't the years, it's the miles. Do you guys know who Chris Ledoux is? I'm probably aging myself, and I'm totally a Gen Xer. I love all types of music. Chris Ledoux, he was the 79 or 78 or 77 world bareback bronc riding champion, and he was a singer also. He died of cancer uh, in the late 1990s, early 2000s. He was a great singer, great singer. Um, that was one of the, yes, Chris Ledoux. You know Barry. I knew Barry was my brother. I love Chris Ledoux. I used to have like 4 of his cassette tapes because that's how old I am. I had cassette tapes. We had an 8-track player in my house when I was a kid. I remember my grandma in her car had an 8-track player, not a cassette player, 8-track player in her car. But she listened to Red Sovine. Do you guys know who Red Sovine was? He was country, but he was for truckers. He was trucker country. So Corey Ten Boom right now is learning that her father died. He didn't even make it to a concentration camp. Yes, it is. One of my friends, my friend Berta, made this for me because I love Friends. It's one of my favorite shows. It is. Here's the couch. Here's the sign. I can't see. Let's see. Is Smelly Cat on here? I can't remember. There's the coffee. There's for the door, the peephole. Yep. This was made for me. She found the material and she made it for me. This headband is 12 years old. I actually managed to bring it with me from Arizona to Oregon. There was so much stuff I didn't bring, yet I managed to bring this. I managed to bring my exercise bike. I love that show too. We were on a break. Sorry. Oh. So it's showing like when they were taken in, when her papa died. So here's where they're being taken out of their solitary confinements. So there Corey Ten Boom was in a solitary confinement, taken out, and they're going to be taken to the trains. Um, She wasn't taken to Auschwitz. They were taken to Birkenau. I'm sorry, I can't remember the name. It starts with a B. Where they went to. Um, the concentration camp they went to. It starts with a B. Um, yeah. So this is where it gets. Just to prepare you, if you watch the movie or if you're watching along with me. Um, it's not like modern movies, so it doesn't get gory or anything, but it shows how things were. I think this toy I'm making is trying to kick my asterisk. Mr. Monchichi. Oh, Surfer, you're still here. Thank you. Thank you, Surfer. Oh, see, Mr. Monchichi, even though he's not commenting, they will come and stay and run and even put little picture comments. Surfer's boxing. He's a kitty cat in a box. See? He's peeking and watching. I see you. He's lurking. He's telling me he's lurking. But it's a good kind of lurk. Lurk, 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 lurk. So this really did happen. They put people into cattle cars, and they would put at least 100 to 150 people into each cattle car, and they would have to ride for at least 10 hours to get to the concentration camps with no stops. So if you had to go to the bathroom, number one or two, right there where you were. Sometimes people would die on the way there, and you would have to stay standing next to them, be next to that corpse the whole time. It was really, really sad. Um, you know, when I started, I didn't realize that things were used as a fine exam for, oh, geometry. It takes a lot of stuff to make things by hand. You guys, if you go to Mr. Monchichi's channel, you'll see he he hasn't done any, you haven't done any newer ones, or at least, what was it, within the past month or two I checked your channel. You haven't made really anything new, have you? Posted it. But, he spins things on the lathe and woodworks. And are you surprised I know the name of it? I am. I used the lathe in 7th grade. I learned how to do it, but I don't remember. And some of the tools. I took shop. Did I tell you I took wood shop in 7th grade? I wish that I would have kept up on it. I made a bread box, and unfortunately, I left it in Arizona. I should have brought that with me. I love that bread box. It had the roll top, kind of like, you know how like those secretary desks have the roll top? I made a roll top like that for it. It was a really cool bread box. That's the fanciest thing I made because I only took shop 1. My cousin, he took shop for years. He ended up making tables. He made all sorts of wood stuff. It was awesome. It was a really cool class. How long have you been doing woodworking, Monchichi? Would you be considered a carpenter, or is a carpenter something else? Carpenters work with wood. So, I mean, would it be good to say you're a carpenter? You'll see a rubber skeleton torturing me. You remember my bread box? I shared it, didn't I? I was so proud of that thing. I made it in 7th grade. Yeah, see? Mr. Monchichi, you could be making stuff and selling it. Okay, so they're arriving at Birkenstock. They'll show the name in a minute. But this scene is showing the women walking to the concentration camp, and they're going to be made to strip down naked. They're going to be checked out. And this is where they took all of their clothes. They were allowed to bring earthly possessions. See, above the entrance to the concentration camp, work makes free. That's what they were told. Work makes free. The thing is, for those who don't know history, it didn't always. Oh, you had a heart attack? I never knew that. I'm glad you're still here. Well, you're still a carpenter. And you do beautiful work. So here, I'm glad you're still here, Mr. Monchichi. Here, they're all being made to strip down because they have to be checked out. The thing is, you're going to see there's Corey, and the redhead is her sister, Betsy. Okay? And they're being made to remove their clothes. Corey actually has a mini Bible, a small Bible. And somehow she manages to sneak it into the concentration camp. And don't worry, I'm not going to get busted for showing bits and pieces of the movie, because it's not for too long. It's only a few seconds at a time. See, there's the little Bible, and she's going to sneak it into the concentration camp. You had 5? Oh my gosh. I'm so glad you're still here. I'm so glad you're still here. So this is her first, Corey's first shower in like months by this time, because, before that she was caught February 28th. And she made it to the concentration camp like 5 months later. I agree, Jersey. It's just we have to guard against stuff. Yeah. So let's showing them praying and sneaking the Bible into. So they're made to strip. And the only reason Corey was able to sneak the Bible into the concentration camp is, I don't know, I have to watch this again. The lady behind her had a fit or something happened, so she was going to get checked out. They were going to check just to make sure. And right before they got to Corey, it was before they got to Corey, they got distracted. They took care of a young lady. She was freaking out, and Corey managed to get in with her Bible. I don't know. This should be a public domain because this is on this is for free on YouTube, but I'm not showing it just in case. And it's a Christian movie. Um and I'm not, obviously I'm not monetized, but that's why I have the link below so people can be watching it at the same time. I'm going to be, oh, by the way, you guys, what do you guys think of the name that I have for my movie watching time? I think I might shorten it because right now it's Yeyuna's Random Talkies Binge. So I could just rename it to Random Talkies Binge because random for random movies because I like all different kinds of movies. I'm not into just horror or just comedy or just chick flicks or just Christian movies, but random movies. And then talkies because that's what movies are called, they're the talkies. And then binge because I don't know. I thought it sounded cool. And to me, watching over an hour is binging. So when you see that it says Yeyuna's, random talkies binge, that's when you're gonna know that, oh hey, she's gonna be watching a movie and we'll be talking through it and talking about the movie, you know. But if you haven't seen the movie, please do. Or, if you've never read that book or read um, Anne Frank's diary, um, or even watched a documentary. There's many documentaries here about the Holocaust. Again, last week was the 80-year anniversary of the liberation of the concentration camps. So that's why I really wanted to do this. So yeah. So in here in the comment section, the pinned is is the link to the movie if you want to watch the movie. You'll really like it. Um, like I said, it really impacted me a lot as a younger Christian. It still does. And the thing is, when this movie was made, Corey ten Boom was still alive. And she was there while they were filming it. And she gave her seal of approval for it. Um, like when you have the DVD, on the DVD, they recorded her. And at first, she was like, "That man doesn't look like my papa." But as she watched it and she watched him interpret his parts, she goes, "Oh my gosh, he really is like Papa." Oh, okay, public domain movies. Okay. Oh, like the 100-year mark. Oh, okay, so movies that are 100 years old. Okay, well, we'd be getting into the talkies then. Well, not quite. We'd still be in the silent movie era, wouldn't we? Actually, a few months ago, who is that? There's a channel I follow. I can't remember their name. Forgive me. Um, but they show old movies. Oh my gosh, and they showed like The Wizard of Oz, but from the 1920s. So that's how they managed to do it. Not the one from the 40s, from, in color and everything, but the original one. And the original one was not like the 1940s movie at all. Okay, cool. I have to think of what movie I want to show. Should I show the movie about pot? What's it called? The famous one about pot where people go crazy because they're smoking pot. It was hilarious. I can't remember what it's called. I can I see the movie in my eyes. It's like it's playing, but I can't remember the name of it. But this movie isn't. This movie is from the 70s, so I don't think it's public domain yet. The reason we're able to watch it for free, I think, is because it's on the Billy Graham Evangelistic channel. Billy Graham Evangelistic something. Let me see. Let's see. Billy Graham Evangelistic Association. Reefer Madness. Yes, thank you. Yes. You know, I had Jason watch that. He was like looking at me like, what is this? I watched Reefer Madness. I found it on YouTube. It's on YouTube. Oh my gosh, we should watch Reefer Madness. Have you ever watched Reefer Madness, Jersey? Oh my gosh. It's anti-drug, which totally makes sense, but these young people are smoking pot, you know. Eh. Reefer. But you watch Dave Chappelle when he's into smoking. That caught all of a sudden Surfer popped up. Reefer spelled backwards is reefer. Thank you for still being here. Thank you, Surfer. You're awesome. You're awesome. Oh my gosh, you guys make me laugh. They killed Killer Bee. They got the dog so I never seen that. I okay, I'll have to look for that. Aw. So they're remembering like times when everybody broke bread together while they're getting food there. So they would get like a cup of soup, which was basically broth, and a roll of bread a day to eat. I don't know how accurate that is. I don't know what they fed people. See, here's Betsy praying. Thank you, Lord, for this food. And she's giving thanks because it's warm. She goes, I'm thankful for every minute we can be together. Um, so her sister Betsy, oh, Dazed and Confused, yes, yes. I love Dazed and Confused. Um, yeah, this is where she says, I'm grateful for the lice. She's thanking God for the lice, Lice. And she goes, God doesn't make mistakes. But they find out right here in the next. Really, Monchichi? I didn't know that. So here, you learn to love the little darlings. The guards won't step past this lice pit. Past the door, we can do anything. So even lice. So God even used lice being in that place because that's what kept the people, those women, from being sexually assaulted. raped is because there was lice in the barracks. And earlier, Betsy had been praying and she thanked God even for the lice. And Corey was like, why are you thanking God for the lice? I'm not going to thank God for the lice. Why? He doesn't expect us to thank him for the lice. And then that same night, a lady was talking and she was talking about, because she worked in the hospital there at the concentration camp, and she found out that the guards wouldn't go in to the barracks, wouldn't touch the women because of the lice. So God used that lice to keep them at least from being assaulted. So, as much as they hated the lice, you know, Betsy was such an example. You know, Corey was definitely human. She admitted in her books. So if you read her books, expect her to be honest and truthful about how she was feeling, what she thought. By the time she was in her 80s, she was much more humble and loving. Um, you know, one story that I really, really love hearing her share, one of her testimonies was so she traveled, like I said, around the world afterwards. And she went to a revival and she was a speaker there. And she saw one of the guards from the concentration camp there at the revival. One of the guards who was cruel and beat people and was merciless. And Corey honestly shared, because it was like a week long service. I can't remember. It's been because my eyes have been bad. It was a struggle to even read the Bible. I haven't read this book again, but she saw him and she recognized him instantly. And she went back to her hotel room that night and she prayed because the anger she was like, this person was, they did me wrong. They did so many wrong. And she asked God to help her with this. And her testimony was that she was able to forgive him, even hug him in Jesus' name. You know, she was able to, she was able to see him through God's eyes. Let me see. Oh, okay, Manchiji. Wow. Yeah, I'm still live. It's a long movie, Chris. How are you doing? Are you out on the road or are you home? So, right now, by now they're in the concentration camp. It's a story of Corrie ten Boom and her family. They were part of the Dutch underground, and they hid Jewish people in their home. And then they got caught. Not the Jewish people, though. They managed to be safe up in the hiding place, but Corrie and her family were taken and they went to the concentration camp. Oh, you went to the Footloose? Yeah. Go, Chris. Awesome. Awesome. You guys connect with Chris too. He's good people. He lives in Utah. He's a trucker. He's got a wonderful wife and family, and he shows snippets of on the road and where he goes and sees places. It's fun. Okay, so do you know the story of Corrie ten Boom and the hiding place? They were from Amsterdam. Bartoljurisstrat, is that the name of the area she lived in? The hiding place still exists today. So because Corrie was able to sneak a Bible into the concentration camp, in their barracks, they were able to hold Bible studies and they were able to share the gospel in the concentration camp. So they were making them work. I don't know this. Have you seen this movie, Chris? Did your grandparents share stories with you about World War II or anything? What their experiences was or what they saw? Hmm. Okay, I'm skipping the commercials. Yes. Yes. Yes, I know. But this story is of the people who hid the people. This is the story of Corrie ten Boom. That's her sister Betsy that just got beat. They and their dad and the rest of their family hid Jewish people in their homes. They were part of the Dutch underground. And they were taken to the concentration camp also. The Jews that they had at their house were safe, though, because they had a hiding place in their house. At the top of the house, it was a false room. Behind a false wall, it was a false wall in a bedroom, and so she had like a inset closet, little closet back then. The link is here. Do you see the link? Jersey, the link. There's a link. The white, like if you go out and come back in again, you'll see the link. I pinned it. I pinned the link. Otherwise, you can look this name up, The Hiding Place, and it's through the Billy Graham Evangelistic channel, okay? Just look, make sure it says Billy Graham. It's free here on YouTube, and it's the whole movie. There'll be commercials, but it's here. And if you can get this book will impact you. This is an old copy, so there's probably more modern copies. This is The Hiding Place, and of course, this is the real Corrie ten Boom. And this book is 3-in-1: Life Lessons from the Hiding Place, In My Father's House, and Tramp for the Lord, which Tramp was not a bad thing. It wasn't that she was doing anything naughty. Tramp as in the little tramp, as in hobo, because she really didn't have um you've started watching it, Gingerbread? Oh, I'm so excited. I hope you like it. It is a long movie. I mean, I've been talking through most of it, but I am watching it and I've watched it a few times. I loved it. Awesome. That's awesome, Chris. Yeah. So the Dutch underground, she and her family were part of that, the Dutch resistance. They were part of the underground movement. They hid people in their house. So they got caught. Corey and her family got caught. They didn't catch the Jewish people they had in their home though. The Jewish people were hiding up in the hidden little room. And Corey's Papa Ten Boom, did not make it to the concentration camp though. He died before they all got shipped. He died in the Gestapo's care, because Corey and her sister. So I don't know what happened exactly to Papa Ten Boom. Um, he uh, he was like them taken to be interrogated, and they were held for months and months before they were sent to concentration camp. Um, so the concentration camps were not just for the Jews. The concentration camp held Catholics. The concentration camps held gays, gypsies, anyone that did not fit the Aryan view of perfection was sent to concentration camps. Anyone that was a dissenter to what their propagandas were was sent to a concentration camp. So this is one family's story. And out of most of her family, I think only Corey and one other person survived out of one family. Um, so, it's just this year is the 80th anniversary again of the liberation from the concentration camps. And Chris knows me. He's on my Facebook. He knows I've been on my personal page, not on my Yayuno's Journeys page. I've been sharing stuff. I don't want to get too much into it. I just feel now more than ever people need to be aware of history. Just study history, please. Please just. I don't want to get political right now. This movie, and I love this movie. I want to talk about this movie, but the things that are going on now, even the mass deportations, it's nothing new. It's nothing new to Hispanics. I'll say it this way. My nana and tata, my grandma and grandpa, Mexican side of the family, were both born in the United States, okay? My nana was born in Mesa, Arizona, because she was part of the Yaqui tribe. My tata, grandfather, was born in Bakersfield, California. Their families moved them and their siblings down to Mexico in the late 20s, early 1930s, because around that time was the same thing they're doing now, mass deportations of Hispanics, like they're doing now, they were doing back then. And I don't know if you guys have ever watched the movie Mi Familia. Now that one's kind of Has some naughty bits in it. It's a great movie, but it's kind of has some nudity and sex in it. So just to prepare you, just in case you watch it, Mi Familia. But it's based on truth. They would grab anyone that looked Hispanic and they would just deport them. Those people had their papers, they were here legally, and they deported them. It was so bad in the United States that some people, before they were like, before my family member gets deported, let's just move back to Mexico. And that's what my great grandparents did. Mind you, for countless generations, my family has been part of the United States because California, Arizona, New Mexico, Utah, Nevada, um, Texas, we're all part of Mexico. You know, so if you meet somebody who's Hispanic, who's Mexican, and you ask them, where's your family from? Where in Mexico are they from? And they say California, truly, they mean it. And if you say, oh no, but we're in Mexico, guess what? California was a part of Mexico, and their family has been here for generations. I'm one of them. You know, from my mom's side, my dad's side, I'm Caucasian, you know, French, Canadian, English, German, and Dutch. But my mom's side, generations. So both my grandfather and grandmother, their parents took them down to Mexico uh, during the late 20s, early 1930s. Yeah, because we're mixed with them, we're mestizos. So, yeah, but that's what's going on nowadays. Just, you know, I don't want to cloud people's judgment. I just, if I may, I want to encourage you to get to know history. Look things up. Double check me, please. If you find out I'm wrong, please tell me. Please tell me, and I will apologize publicly, and I will agree with you. I would rather be wrong, but my heart is to share this story of Corey ten Boom because it's the 80th anniversary of the liberation of the concentration camps and what happened in the concentration camps. Nazism, not a good thing. Hi, Corey. Welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Welcome. Welcome. But the best way to guard against history repeating itself is to know your history, to know the world history. That's all I want to say. I don't want to get political. I want people to see and watch and read and come up with their own answer because, you know, I don't know what the answer is. I understand when they're talking about all these, they want people to be here legally. I understand. Every country does that, right? Every country does. So I want to give props to where props is due. I have to. I have to. I need to be fair. I can't just say my point of view and that's it and you know. No, we have to admit, okay, we understand. We hear it, you know. The thing is also though, with like for people to get to come here, become documented is not an easy process. Um, uh, Chris knows, I'm not going to call them out by name, but we have a friend in common who's who's the person who started a group that we met on, actually, who just got married in October. Uh, he met his wife, and she was from England. And lovely young lady. And They had to wait 7 years, 7.5 years, Chris, to get married because that's how long it took for her to become a United States citizen. In that time, COVID happened. Both her parents died, and she was an only child. And it wasn't until October of last year that everything finally, after years and years and years of waiting, it was finally approved. You know, it's not that, oh, she married him and she became a citizen. They waited because even if you get married to an American citizen, you don't just instantly become a citizen. They check everything out. Yeah, they are. They're wonderful. They're sweet. It's such a hard process. And I don't know what the answer is. I'll admit I don't know what the answer is. I can understand what people are saying because I want to be fair and I'm trying to understand. Sometimes I don't understand, I'll be honest. I know a big part of me. I know the struggle my family has gone through. I know the struggle that I saw when I was a little girl, I was exposed to. I know the struggles that people went through. I know what I went through because at the time, when I was a little girl, I spoke mostly Spanish. I spoke with an accent. I don't think I speak with a Mexican accent anymore. But I spoke with a really thick accent. I spoke Spanglish because if I didn't know a word in English, I would say it in Spanish. And I thought in Spanish. I dreamt in Spanish. Everything was in Spanish to me, right? And in school, at one time, when I was in first grade, you guys, I was in the bathroom and this little girl came up to me and started choking me in the bathroom. I didn't know who she was. I wasn't mouthing off to her. But she chose to come to me and choke me in the bathroom because I was Mexican. Um, and another little girl walked in, saw her, turned around, ran out, and got the teacher. And the teacher came in and took her off of me because she was like a third or fourth grader. I was in first grade. She had me on the ground and she was choking me, all because I was Mexican. You know, um, my stepmother, I usually don't talk about her, but I've shared with I shared with Chris in our group that we talked to, hang out with. My stepmother, when my mom died, my dad. Oh, you guys, I'll have to tell you my life story sometime. People won't believe it, but I promise it's true. My dad's still around. I don't know if he'd agree to be on where I could have you guys listen to him say stuff, but his ex-wife now abused me because one, I wasn't her child, and two, I was the daughter of a Mexican woman. Uh, my ex-husband, the first time I met his mother, I extended my hand out to her, you know, introducing myself. She turned around, she turned her back on me and walked away. She did not want anything to do with me because I was Mexican. It took a few years to win her over. She ended up being kind to me in the end, which I'm thankful for. But at first, because I was Mexican and a Mexican had done one of her other sons wrong, she didn't like Mexicans. You know, when you've gone and experienced a little bit, it, it colors your world. And it doesn't color it quite right. You know, it takes a lot of renewing of the mind, prayer, a lot of letting go, forgiveness. You know, the thing about forgiveness is it actually, forgiveness, yes, it's wonderful for the person receiving it, isn't it? But when you forgive somebody, it's letting go of your right to judge them and anger and hate. And you're actually releasing yourself from being bound to that person in hate. It takes a lot of love, self love, to forgive, you know? Yep, it's true. Living well, it does. And so does forgiveness. Forgiveness is a key. I'm telling you guys, Corey Ten Boom, in her in Tramp for the Lord, she explains how she had to forgive that guard that she ran into after the war. She recognized him, and she had to ask God to help her to to grant her the love for this person that God felt for them. Can you imagine forgiving somebody that was so cruel, that murdered people, that was cruel to you in that place? Um, I've gone through stuff just with a couple of people, and it colored my world. Can you imagine? I Corey Ten Boom forgave, you know, and she pointed to Jesus, and she was like, forgive, forgive, love, forgive. It's not easy. She didn't say it was easy. It's never easy. You have to fight yourself for real in order to forgive. Sometimes, because forgiveness is letting go of the right to judge another person. But the thing is, it frees you up. It allows your body to heal and feel better, allows you to sleep better. For real, you guys. Let's see how much longer we got on this movie. Ooh. Oh, we got 23 minutes left to go. Thank you for hanging out with me so far, you guys. And thank you, Chris. I saw that, what you wrote. Um, it, maybe I'll make a video one day. I'll make a video because I don't know if I can't quite do it in a live stream. You know, maybe I could do it as a video and do it as a premiere so we could talk. So that way, while I'm talking, you know, I could answer questions, you know, watching. Um, I'll share my life story. It's kind of hard because as Gen X, we were brought up by the generation before us of hiding stuff. Don't share. Shh. Keep quiet. And I'll admit, my family is like, just let it go. The thing is, I don't hate anymore, but I always want to share my story as a way to encourage others that you can make it through whatever. You know, you can just hold on a little bit longer. You know, what is it? The it gets better thing? It's true. You don't have to stay stuck in it. You know, just hold on and talk and share, and don't be afraid to open your mouth. Um, it'll help you heal. You know, it'll help you grow. It'll help. And through your testimony, through your sharing of your story, you'll encourage other people who are going through things also. You know, I'm not going to pretend my life is hunky dory, but I'll be honest. I'm living by the grace of God. Um, if it wasn't for Jason and his family, I'd be homeless right now. Chris can tell you. I was just sharing that yesterday, huh, Chris? Um, I'm living through the grace of God right now. life isn't easy, but man, I'm still blessed. I have a roof over my head, got clean clothes, I got food. Look how chubby I am. I got food. I got food. I'm able to get my medications I need to stay alive. I'm getting treatment. Look, I'm getting PT weekly for my back and shoulder. You know, my needs are met. I know I'm dropping people left and right because I'm sharing stuff, but that's what it's about. Okay, so Betsy is really ill right now, and they're taking her to the infirmatory, the hospital. Infirmatory, is that what it is? I can't remember the word, but and just to prepare you guys, Betsy dies. Uh, but Corey, we all have the hope and the faith that someday there'll be a reunion, right? I know this movie just gets me in all the feels. Okay, here Corey is peeking in through the window at Betsy in the infirmary, and they're waving to each other. Yeah, the world can be a mean place, but it can also be a beautiful place, Just choose to focus on that and choose forgiveness, choose joy, choose love. No matter what, choose love. It's what's going to keep you sane in the rest of this journey called life. You guys, it's almost done. It's almost done. Thank you for hanging in with me. We're at the 2 minutes and 2 hours 8 minutes spot, and this movie is 2 hours and 26 minutes long. So you're almost there. You've almost made it. I hope you're enjoying the movie. I hope thank you for putting up with me as I go through it and talk about it. And I hope you are able to watch it, or if you can find the book, read it. If you're a person that likes to read the story. It's amazing. Like Chris said too, like I was talking about earlier, the story of Anne Frank. I read that. So what we learned to read in kindergarten, first grade, and I remember wandering in the library at my school in California, and I found this little book, and it said The Diary of Anne Frank. And I remember checking that book out, and I read that story, and I didn't understand some things because again, some things English and Spanish in my head, but I read it, and it was so impactful. And I encourage you today, the Diary of Anne Frank is exactly that, is this young lady's diary, and her experience hiding from the Nazis with her family. Anne Frank died in the concentration camp. What was it? Within a month prior to, it is, it is a great book. It's very impactful. It's a true story. There's movies about it too. Just look up, and it's here on YouTube. That's the thing. You can watch the movies for free. There'll be commercials, but you can speed through them. You can click out of them. There's different versions. But The Hiding Place, this movie we're watching now, true story. And The Diary of Anne Frank, true story. Look up Holocaust, the Holocaust, or concentration camps. Um, in Washington, D.C., or New York, there's the Holocaust Museum. And what they've done, because that generation, obviously 80 years ago, most of them are dead, except for the ones that were really little, right? They managed to interview quite a few of them so that you could go and see and hear what they went through. And they have it here online. No, don't say that, Surfer. We honestly, our current president has a son who's Jewish. And yesterday he actually, um, because I'm gonna be fair, I have to be fair, okay? I have to. Yesterday introduced something where he's making it illegal and wrong, or he's straight up specifically for no anti-Semitism. You know how it's been getting really, really bad and people are being crazy and hateful towards Jewish people? He just introduced something. I, you know, now if he could do that to the rest of the races too, just don't be hateful to other races. That would be wonderful. That would be a blessing, you know? It would. I think. In my little mind. Who am I? I'm not a politician. I don't know. I don't know how to fix our country. I don't know what answers are right or wrong. Um, I think there should be a happy medium. I do. I do. I can understand how some people are like, well, they're invading our country. Not quite. But then again, there has to be a happy medium somehow, some way. Let's find a happy medium. Let's not hate each other. Let's not blame each other. People, honestly, you can ask anyone that knows me. I believe that people voted to the best of their ability and they voted their conscience. Whether we agree with one another or not, I choose to believe people voted their conscience. You know, when you think about it, they want to protect their families. We all want to protect our families, right? They want to protect the future for future generations. We all want to protect the future for future generations, right? I, I don't know what the answer is. I, I don't know. I don't know. It's okay, Jersey. Thank you for being here. You're still here. Oh, goodness. Okay. Let's see. So, Corey's talking about our labor is not in vain. I'm good. How are you? I'm still watching the movie. It's almost over. I hope you get to watch it. You know, me too. I hope it gets better. Um, like, like I said earlier, I've been leaning back in this couch. I'm as far back as I could. I'm on a heated blanket. I took medication before starting the live stream. I took two extra strength Tylenol. I actually, hey, I'll admit it, I took a CBD. I didn't want to take a muscle relaxer because that makes me, kind of tired and everything. So I took a CBD. I feel kind of anyways, but I'm here. I'm good. It's got to get better someday. Someday. So towards the end of the movie, yeah, we're at 2:16, and it ends at 2:26. So it's 2 hours and 26 minutes. So 10 more minutes left to the movie. Um, I'll just tell you, just to prepare you. You almost made it to the end. Thank you, Surfer. Love you. For real. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you. No, thank you for being here for you. Thank you. Thank you. You're so supportive. I appreciate you so much. My aunt takes them because the pain doesn't go with painkillers. I I I do not take painkillers. I take Tylenol. Aw, thank you, Surfer. I stay because I like you. You don't have to stay. You've stayed here for the most part. Don't worry about it, okay? Don't worry. Thank you for being here. By all, but not all. You don't have to, okay, Surfer? It's all right. um, yeah, it's natural, but I don't take painkillers. I take Tylenol. And muscle relaxers are not painkillers. But I just got here, says Surfer. Well, you don't have to leave. You can stay there 10 minutes if you want. But painkillers kind of scare me because of addiction. Um, but I just got here. So I do not take painkillers. Yeah, no, muscle relaxers do that. They relax you, make you sleepy. So I'm kind of, I just didn't want to do that. So just to let you know, at the end of the movie and the book, obviously, Corey makes it out of the concentration camp. I think all but one brother, I think her brother, I can't remember, one family member. Yes. Yes, there you go, Surfer. Exactly. Have fun, Surfer. Thank you for stopping by. Love you. Um, Corey was set free. It was by accident. She gave all the glory to God. What happened was, instead of being on the list, because all the women her age and older, all the women her age and up, older, she was in her 50s, like mid 50s, okay? Uh, at the concentration camp, cool. I don't want any anyways. I'm fine with the muscle relaxers. I don't no. I'm not gonna. But anyways, she was set free by accident. What they meant to do was put her on the list to be sent to the gas chamber because all the women her age and older were sent to the gas chamber there at that concentration camp. She was set free. That's how she made it out alive. Um, so there's, they showed that she just walked out. There she is. See, all younger ladies were left let out because work makes free is what it said above the concentration camp. And since she wasn't Jewish, see, work makes free. Um, so she was able to walk out of the concentration camp, and she spent the rest of her life going around the world, sharing the gospel. She spoke to prisoners, sharing that light in the dark place. Her dad died March 9th, 1944, in the hospital while being interrogated. Kik, her nephew, he died in Bergen-Belsen concentration camp. They don't know the date. That's Kik, her nephew. Her brother William died from hepatitis in 1945, December 12th. That's her brother Kik. Her sister Betsy died Ravensbrück. That's where they were. Ravensbrück, December 16th, 1944. That's the real Betsy right there. And Corrie lived out the rest of her life, released December 28th, 1944. And then a day later, the women her age and over were killed. Oh, here's Corrie, the real Corrie ten Boom, in front of the real, that's the Baccalaureate. That was their house. So the first level right there was the watch shop her family owned, and they made watches and fixed watches since 1837. She was also a watchmaker, a clockmaker. She fixed them, and you can go to Amsterdam, there to the Baccalaureate. I can't say it the right way, and you can tour it, and they have the hiding place so you can see it. Corrie ten Boom lived until the early 80s, I think, or late 70s. And she died on her birthday. And there is a special, there's a saying that if you get to die on your birthday, it's a special blessing to die on your birthday. But that's the real Corrie ten Boom. So she approved when this movie was made. She was there. She was part of it. She was watching. She was there as a she okay, here it is. Here's what I was talking about way earlier. My life is but a weaving. Here, let me see if I can. Oh no, she doesn't read it. But so if you've ever heard of the poem My Life is But a Weaving Between My Maker and Me, I don't know if you've ever heard of that one. Oh, she looked good. She died. She died. She died on her birthday back in the 80s because, she was a little old lady. She traveled the world. Um My life is but a weaving. Okay, it's called The Tapestry. Let me read you this poem so that we can end with this poem, okay, guys? Let me read it to you. I've got my other phone, my old cell phone. It just works with it, it works with Wi-Fi. It's not a phone anymore. Okay. So this is called Life is But a Weaving, the Tapestry Room, the poem. It goes, My life is but a weaving between my God and me. I cannot choose the colors. he weaveth steadily. Oft times he weaveth sorrow, and I in foolish pride forget he sees the upper, and I the underside. Not till the loom is silent and the shuttle ceases to fly will God unroll the canvas and reveal the reason why. The dark threads are as needful in the weaver's skillful hand as the threads of gold and silver in the patterns he has planned. He knows, he loves, he cares. Nothing this truth can dim. He gives the very best to those who leave the choice to him. Sorry. I'm just saying, I'm what I'm going to do. First of all, thank you for being here with me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part and spending time and listen to me when I know, people, people are going crazy right now, right? I hope you have a blessed day. What I'm going to do is the link for this movie. I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it in my community page where I announced that today I was going to do the live stream. If you look on there, give me about 5 minutes. I'll go there and I will put the link for the movie. So if you want to watch the movie at your leisure without me jibber jabbering and blabbering, totally acceptable. I will put that link for you. Can you hear me now? Yeah, I'll put the link up, but I just want to thank you, tell you I love you. I hope you have a blessed day. Thanks for spending time with me, and thanks for watching this movie with me, because I love it. All right, I love you guys. I'll see you around on the interwebs. Keep encouraged, and just remember to love each other, okay? And if anything you take out of this movie is just try to learn how to let go and forgive. It'll free you to be the best you can be. Love you, Tina. Tina, you're here. Thanks for being here. Were you here the whole time and just didn't talk to me? I love you. Okay, I've been on for 169, almost 170 minutes, so I'm going to cut this off because that's long enough. I need a break. All right, guys, I love you. Have a blessed day. Thanks for being a part of my life.